Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes, and I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. Please forgive the low level of video quality. We're in the process of changing the software we go live with for the future. So if you know anybody who has got working experience with OBS Studio software, please put them in touch with me so that we can begin to get the process working properly. I will not be using the BeLive interface anymore, as it has become somewhat unreliable, as they have been making a lot of changes. And I wish to provide you guys with the best possible experience I can. And so today is about the whole concept that you are being awakened. And it's really important to understand this concept of what being awakened is and what is actually happening. Being awakened is literally breaking your identification with the self that is not you, letting go of your attachment to who you think you are, who you remember you think you're supposed to be connected to that which you truly are. Good morning, Drusilla. Good morning, Manoj. Again, I'm putting out a call for anybody who has got working experience with OBS Studio software, which I have and I'm ready to run on my system. I just want to make sure I understand some fundamental things. So please forgive the poor video quality today. It's really about the message more than what you see with your eyes. And the message is about who are you? We are being awakened. You are being awakened. All of us are being awakened right now. And what does it mean to be awakened? It means that you begin to know how to differentiate between your thoughts and your emotions and your awareness. It means you're able to differentiate between the outside world and your own creative process and the relationship between the two. Because there is a relationship between you as an awareness, you as a mental being, as a construction of thoughts, you as a body, you as an emotional energy, and what is occurring in the world around you and within you. And it's very fascinating, when the Ascended came to me to talk about the concept of ascension, I asked them, what are some of the contributors to our ascension? They said that there's aspects of ascension that we must consciously choose. There is foods we need to actually eat. There is water quality that we need to actually drink. There are very specific elements that you need to do, think, and be in order to facilitate your ascension. There are things called vibrations that pervade all of creation. And you on this planet are the only one that can deliberately and intentionally alter those vibrations with the elements of your consciousness, your body, your mind, your emotions, your awareness, your attention. These are the tools that you use to alter energy and matter. So as we are being elevated as a species, right? As we're being elevated as a species, it's important to understand how can you consciously participate in your own ascension? It is being directed at everybody. There's not one of us on this planet that is not being bombarded by their ascension energies, by the ascension energies from spirit, by source. Hi, everybody. There's not one of us that's not being affected by these higher frequency ascension energies coming in from the galactic center. The galactic center is emanating an electrical current. Scientifically, they call it a current sheath, which is actually a concentric sphere of current moving in concentric spheres from the galactic center outward. It does this all the time, and it comes out in different waves. I'm saying waves, but it's actually different spheres within spheres. And what they told me is that we are now moving into, or are actually in, one of these waves, which contains certain elements of consciousness that affect the matter that these waves of energy come in contact with. This wave of energy, this sphere of energy emanating from the galactic center, likewise affects, influences, and induces changes in other celestial bodies, such as stars, planets, plasma, asteroids. Everything is altered and changed in frequency as this electrical charge passes over, through, and around what it comes in contact with. Our planet is on that now, and our sun that we call our sun in the skies, is being affected by this also. And so its spectrum of energy, what the sun radiates, what it will radiate, what it won't radiate, is being altered simultaneously as the radiations and emanations from the sun and this current sheath from the galactic center, this sphere of energy that's emanating out. We as sentient beings in these physical bodies all throughout this galaxy are being affected likewise in varying degrees according to the nature, the quality, and the intensity of your ideas, your emotions, your intentions, your memories, your considerations for the future. All of these weigh into organizing this energy that you're now receiving that you call ascension energy. All of these things, thought, emotion, imagination, memory, considerations about the future, all of these in your attention are organizing this matter into what you call your material experience. The material experience in which you find yourself is an effect of consciousness, which is what you are as an awareness. You are consciousness. You are awareness. You can be awareness of thought. You can be awareness of emotion. You can be awareness of body. You can be awareness of past and present and future. You can be these. You can choose how you will be these and the way in which you will be these. You may choose frequencies that you label as positive or negative, but you get to decide. And to decide, you must be conscious of that decision-making process. You must be conscious of that decision-making process. Your ability to choose thoughts intentionally, your ability to choose emotions intentionally, your ability to put your attention intentionally where you need it to go. Each and every living organism throughout this galaxy that is conscious as you are has this ability. Some have used it very effectively in creating the manifestation of their existence to be more pleasurable and pleasing to their experience of existence. Some have used it incorrectly and created what you would label as suffering. But again, in the perspective of your awareness, there is just being. But the being of your creation can be either positive or negative, pleasurable, painful, whatever you choose. You are free in the degree and intensity of that creative process to experience whatever it is you wish. There will be no judgment on you if you choose to continue your suffering, any more than there will be judgment on you if you continue to not suffer. The choice is exclusively yours. So I'm just asking them, so how do we get out of pain and suffering? How do we get out of our fear and our uncertainty? And they say that it's very simple, that we simply have to turn our attention away from that which does not serve us. And I want to say from personal experience, because I don't care where you are in the consciousness spectrum, and they say the same thing. It doesn't matter. You are in a learning, creating process. It doesn't matter whether you are an ascended master or a 12th dimensional being, which would be very difficult to describe to you, or a human. It does not matter what your race or your species is throughout the cosmos. You are all in a creating process that is either conscious and intentional or unconscious and haphazard. Although the same laws will create the same results from different processes, the exact same mechanisms are in play. The difference is, are you conscious or unconscious? Our goal in coming through this one is to ensure that you become conscious of your ability to deliberately and intentionally choose your mechanisms of creation deliberately and intentionally. And by mechanisms, we mean what thoughts, ideas, what emotions do you give your light and your life to? This is important. What are you giving your light and your life to? We know that it's a very simple process, but consciousness and awareness are very different. Consciousness is the very nature of being, just energy in motion, whereas awareness is comprehending the movement of that consciousness into different levels of spectrums of manifestation. So my example is what's been happening with the Be Live interface and the OBS studio that I'm just learning now. And I can watch as the old William self is going, I've never done this before. How am I going to do this? And it wants to go into uncertainty and fear. And then there's this other part of me who I am going, this is exciting. I'm really curious to see how this all unfolds and what the process, what the presentation will change into as I go through this learning curve consciously. The fear elements in my process are not who I am. The uncertainty is not who I am. These are elements from my past that have resurfaced because in the past, especially in early childhood, when I was faced, when my environment was faced with changing in different situations, there was lots of fear and anxiety and uncertainty connected to those changing events that still exist in my subconscious field, so that whenever I find myself moving into different avenues of creativity and expression, that old energy surfaces and I release it. I literally release it. And I want you to learn this today. Whenever you find fear or uncertainty, yes, I will. Whenever you find, they want me to just say, this is not something that is complex nor beyond anyone that is aware of our words. What we will say to you through this one now is very simple, that you may easily release your suffering, your fear, your guilt, and your shame. You may easily do this, but it requires that you simply become aware that those elements of energy are not who you are. They are simply memories of who you thought you were before, and that these memories can resurface and affect you in the present if you choose to give them attention. So please pay attention to what this one is about to say to you. So in that process, when you become aware of your fear, your anger, your guilt, your shame, your depression, whatever the emotional energy that it is that you find overwhelming you at any moment, remember, the minute you become aware of it, now there's you and there is it. There's you as the awareness and it as the old self, the old energy, the old emotion. And one of the techniques that these guys have given me to use for this is whenever you become aware of fear, anger, guilt, shame, upset, uncertainty, guilt, whatever it is in you that normally slows you down or stops you or impedes you, stop what you're doing. Use your breath. And they've said this many times. The minute you choose to access your breath, the minute you choose to consciously breathe, you are asserting your divine authority over matter. Just by choosing to breathe, you choose to assert your divine authority over matter. Once you choose that authority, the same process and principle is true with those emotions that do not serve you. The minute you become aware of those emotions, you can use your breath, which is a divine assertion over matter. Can you breathe right now, slowly and deeply, and feel that you are asserting authority over the matter called your body? Breathe. Your body would not naturally regulate nor moderate its own breathing in the fashion that you may. So please understand that when you choose to deliberately breathe, you are asserting your divine awareness over matter. So when you breathe, you do this. And so when you recognize an emotion, fear or depression, anger, anxiety, upset, frustration, it does not matter. The minute you become aware of that energy, you may use your divine awareness to assert itself over matter. Emotion is a form of energy, but relative to what you are, and we have never said this before to you, but relative to what you are, emotion is a degree of matter that organizes matter in degrees lower in frequency from it. I like that. That's great. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So that, let me get this right. So you're saying that we as an awareness are non-physical, and that emotion is a vibrational energy that organizes matter, but we are at a higher frequency than emotion. Yes, okay. So we are at a higher vibrational frequency than emotion. So, okay, they're saying, so now what he says will make sense to you. Okay, so once you become aware of that emotion, you have put yourself in that position of awareness, and then you use your breath as a divine assertion over matter and emotion, which is a degree of matter that organizes degrees of matter below it. I like that. I really like that. Okay. So you become aware of the emotion, and you use your breath. You use your breath in your body to draw that emotion wherever you feel it from your body. You use your breath, draw the emotion from wherever you feel it in your body. Oh, around too? Okay. And they're saying around your body as well, because you can have emotions being in your environment around you that other people are emanating. And you can literally draw those emotions up, out of the body, out of matter, and literally exhale them into space and time. Literally exhale that energy. And why does that work? When you bring an energy into your awareness, you as the awareness transmute it. You as the awareness transmute it. And when you release it, it is transmuted. It's okay, so like they're just talking to me really fast here. So they're saying that our awareness, the minute you draw an energy of a negative energy into your body and from your environment out of your body, and you bring it in, your awareness transmutes or changes that energy. The minute you draw that energy through your body and you exhale it, you as an awareness are deliberately filtering it out of the system and releasing it. The only way I can describe, it's literally like, you've got a water filtration system, a high power filtration system. That's what your awareness is, they're saying. Okay, so that's a good correlation. Okay, so when you draw the fear, the guilt, the shame, the anger that you become aware of, when you draw that up and out, you are literally filtering it through your awareness and releasing it. They want me to say too that you as awareness are love. You as awareness are love. The greatest filtration system for energy is love. The greatest filtration system for energy is love. And so in your ability to be aware, to deliberately and intentionally draw these things out through matter and back into space, you as an awareness filter them. So literally, when you use your breath and you draw your anxiety or your depression or your guilt or your shame, you continually. And you continually do that until you've filtered it all out. Literally, you continue staying in your breath, drawing it up, releasing it out, drawing it up. Or if you're feeling it in the environment around you, wow, this solves a lot of concerns for empaths. I love it. So yeah, for empaths, when you're picking up emotional energy around you, you literally transmute it. When you draw it in, release it out, you're literally transmuting it. And they're saying you'll find very rapidly, especially empaths, will feel the emotional change very rapidly, both within their own physical construct and in the physical construct around their bodies. I really love this. This is really cool. So you are being awakened, and one of the mechanisms for awakening is these energies that are coming from the sun. These energies in the sun are going to stimulate changes in our biology, changes in our electrical mental field, changes in the energy of other people, and our ability to be mindful and aware that we are transformers, transmuters, manifestors, creators of energy. Then we move into a position of being able to deliberately participate in the transformation of our own biology, our own psychology, through a process of conscious being and understanding how we change energy simply by the way we choose to interact with it. Whether that energy is fear or anger or guilt or shame or whatever it is. Okay, so regardless, okay, every single being in this galaxy are going through these changes at the level that they're at. Many of you on this planet are not conscious that you can do this, but there are many of you on this planet that are becoming conscious that you can do this. I was just asking, there are planetary systems that are consciously working through this and moving through other dimensions, literally moving from being material beings to being immaterial consciousness at a completely different dimension of experience. And there are those that are actually coming into the experience of being awareness for the first time. Wow. So there are planetary systems where there are life forms that are just becoming conscious and awareness, where we are kind of in the middle between those two, where we are in the process as a species of becoming conscious awareness, but we're also still in levels of unconsciousness. So they're saying we got a long way to go still. As a species, we have a long way to go, but it's only long in terms of our time. It's very short. They're saying it's very short in terms of cosmic time. They're saying we won't even notice the time going by for you guys as you do. I like that. Wow. So I also want to say, I want to welcome everybody. I also want to say, I have a moderator now for my questions and answers, Drusilla Morello. And so if she will be moderating the live events when she can. And again, I'm just going to scroll down here. So you are being awakened. So I'm just going to scroll here. I have to look down at the questions here, unless I can figure out how I get them up on the screen. Right. Oh, there's comments there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Hi, Tanya. Wonderful. So yeah, so please be patient as I learn this new software. It's very exciting. I'm understanding. I'm going to be able to produce a presentation for this that will be very friendly. It won't have the interruptions in sound. It won't have the issues I was having with BeLive. So yeah, be patient with us as we work through this. This is very exciting. Okay, so I'm going to go to questions and answers. I'm scrolling back up to the top. Hi, Drusilla. Hello, South Africa. Wow. Wonder where everybody is from. South Africa. I know we got lots from America. Question from Michelle. I'm taking a trip tomorrow to California with my daughter, and I'm very nervous. Is there any advice for me to make this trip successful? Get excited, Michelle. Get excited. Transform that nervousness into excitement. Like literally transform your nervousness to excitement. Use the process that was just described a few minutes ago. Literally use your breath and draw that energy out of the system. Draw it out of your system and let it release that nervousness from the system and let the excitement replace it. Remember, you get to choose what you're going to feel. Hello, Mike. Hello, Kimberly. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, the video does look nightclubby. Kind of cool, that little mist going on there. That's okay. That'll be gone in a couple of days. But that's what the energy is around us right now. It is. There's this intense fog of energy that's awakening us all. Our bodies, our minds, our souls, our planet. Like every celestial body in creation is literally being affected at the same time, literally right now. And it's important you understand how you can leverage the current energies. Question from Tanya. I have a strong electrical currents in the body lately. Simultaneously, my boyfriend left me yesterday, and I feel very sick and shocked. How can my body manage all this stress? Thank you. Well, Tanya, if you just heard what they described, that's a really good tool for doing that. It's a really powerful tool. Use your breath. And they're telling me to tell you, your boyfriend leaving you was not a chance, that you have already called in something better into your life. You have called in something better to rejoice and get excited. They're saying, do not be distracted by your past anymore. Okay, everybody, they're saying that for everybody. Do not be distracted by your past anymore. They're also saying, nor be fearful of your future, but be delighted in the present moment that is yours. In this moment, which is yours. Wow, thank you. Question from Patricia. People are being told to stay out of the sun by those whose agenda it is to keep them from being enlightened and withdrawing from their system. No, I think people are just following what they're. Again, there are people that are waking up and there are people that are falling asleep, and the people that are waking up, and the people that are falling asleep are falling asleep, and that's okay. You cannot judge those who live in fear, because they're going through the process of waking up in the way they're going through the process of waking up. We cannot find fault with them, and it can be really easy to judge others because their process is different than ours. Be focused on your own personal growth and development. Liberate yourself from your past beliefs. Align yourself to the divine nature of what you really are as an awareness, a creative, limitless being in time-space. And learn to generate feelings and emotions that sustain a creative output that represents who you are as an infinite creator. Question from Deanna. How can I eliminate doubt when listening to my intuition? Thank you. Great question, Deanna. Again, the question they're saying has already been answered. The moment you become aware of an emotion that is of a lower vibrational frequency, it is most likely from your past. And if you realize this, then bring yourself to this moment. Use your breath as we described. Assert your divinity. Assert your divinity over matter. Do not let matter assert its nature over yours, for you do not wish to be the lesser of the two. Thank you, Deanna. Great question. Hi, everybody. Wow. Hello, Animo. Yes, the greatest filtration system is love. I love that. Question from Betsy. Can we surmount all material concerns for ourselves and our families using these techniques? Absolutely. Absolutely, because when we're dealing with energy, yes, I know. They're saying it's important you understand that is your emotion which is organizing and has been organizing your experiences in time and space. And your ability to interact with emotion determines what creation shall unfold. The way in which you interact with emotional energy determines what will unfold in your space-time experience. But the principle of recognizing that your emotion is the primary element that organizes the matter of this world, the matter of matter, that emotion is the fifth state of energy, but it organizes all matter below it. When you are aware of that truth and you can apply it consistently, then you will see the natural phenomena of what some people have alluded to as miracles, which are simply the natural reorganization of matter and emotion according to the awareness that is directing it or utilizing it. You may change fear into love and love into fear. It does not matter. You have the ability to do that, but we would recommend that you choose to align yourself to energies that would sustain the vibrational outcome of time and space that you wish to experience. And love and joy and playfulness and curiosity are energies that may have once been fear that you transformed. And so, yes, you may use these methodologies to do so. You have the power to do this. You have the power to do this at any moment. Just take a breath. The very nature of your breath is such that you can do this. Okay. Question from Nicole. I am an empath. Yesterday I lost my cool and literally screamed at a woman for not rescheduling my appointment. I totally lost my temper. What am I doing wrong? Nicole, they're laughing, but they're laughing like a child who's just learning a lesson. You understand that the energy of your inner old self is still in the process of correction. The gift for you is to recognize that this anger from before this event, the anger from before this event was re-stimulated by that individual. You are now conscious of that rage that you have held in your quiet place, in your subconscious field, as this one calls it. Be willing to release that anger. As we've described, you may simply, as you can even now, we know this because we can feel that with you at this moment, you may simply use that energy of anger, draw it up and literally release it out of your body until you feel it has left your form. Then you will find that subsequently, if such a trigger arises again, your result will be less obvious. And through the gradual and intentional releasing of these energies as they are stimulated for your environment, was created in such a way as to remind you of anything you would wish to reorganize within you. So when anything stimulates that old energy, you simply release it. And you simply release it, and you simply release it until you have released it all. And you will find that many things can occur around you that will not cause such a response or reaction from you, for you will have not held on to that energy within you. Yes. So once you release it enough from the system, once you've cleaned it out, your subconscious mind is the reservoir, the repository for all experience, not just your experience, but the whole collective experience in our DNA. Your DNA, my DNA, all human DNA contains the sum total knowledge and experience of all life on this physical dimension of being. And so when you start to release from your individual system fear, anger, guilt, shame, as you start to release those from your system, it's literally you start pulling it all out, and eventually you get the house clean. You do. It's like cleaning house. That's what Master Jesus always says. You got to clean the house up. Well, he calls it a temple most of the time. He says it's usually a temple. The temple of the living God that has been taken over by the servants, right? And your negative emotions, your past, your fear, all that stuff are servants, that energy that's supposed to serve you, not work against you. And you have to train your servants to work for you, not against you. Cool. Thank you for that question, Nicole. Okay, this is a good question from Deanna. Are feelings and emotions the same thing? Okay. Okay, now there are schools of thoughts that say feelings and emotions are the same thing. I say they're not. They tell me it's not. Feelings and emotions are different in degree. Feelings are what you experience yourself as being. Your feeling of being is different than the emotions of your past. All of your emotions are from your past, or your emotions are about your future based on a past. But the feeling of what you are as a being, is a feeling. And that feeling as an awareness is what you are. You are a feeling. You are, yeah. Feelings are what a feeling is what you are. Emotions are what you have from this acquired reality. You can use your awareness of feeling and the quality of feeling to change. Okay, you can do it that way too? All right. Okay, so they're also saying that love is a feeling. Joy is a feeling. Peace is a feeling. Enlightenment is a feeling. Wisdom is a feeling. Truth is a feeling. Anger and fear, your guilt and your shame are emotions, the lower vibrational frequencies of energy, whereas feelings are the higher vibrational frequencies of energy. Okay, I get it. I get that. Okay, I hope that clears that up for you, Deanna. Psy Voice 13 is asking, notice ego looks for evidence to disprove freedom of choice. Challenge to stay focused. Want to meditate? How to stay focused in 3D while doing this? Patricia, Men's Mediumship 102. Hi, I'm not sure what that means. Okay. So yeah, thank you for that question, Deanna. I'm just going to see if there's any questions that we've missed. Drusilla, I'm having trouble quitting smoking. I keep thinking that I will be left behind. Is this true? Well, if you keep thinking it, it certainly becomes a reality. But they're saying the attachment. They're saying the attachment to the molecular elements, which are a form of emotion, keeping you attached to your suffering. In that sense, you cannot prevent yourself from rising up in consciousness, but you can certainly slow your progress down energetically. Much the same way as if you try to tie an elastic band around your waist and tie it to a tree and then try to go for a walk. You can only go so far. And we would suggest to you that with this substance you call smoking, that it is simply the attention you still give to your need to feel secure with what you think you already know, but it is also your fear of moving into what you do not know, for there are whole ranges of what you would be and what you would do that cannot emerge as long as you hold on to this same old flavor. You cannot move into the new when you are holding on to the old self. Wow. So yeah, I get that, to understand that, because I smoked for 30 years, Drusilla, and I stopped many, many years ago. And it was a process that I went through, and I realized, like, I'm free from that now, and it's delicious. It's delightful. When you realize the urge, when you give up smoking or give up any addiction, what starts to happen is the emotions that the addiction prevented you from being aware of surface. And if you've listened to even just today's presentation, they've talked about this many other times, using the breath, your divine right to breathe, over the body to release energy from it. If people just did that, the angst and the old emotions could be let out of the system that fast, and therefore the behaviors that go with that would be released also, which is the need to find something to feel safe or secure in matter. Yes. For me, what was a turning point in quitting smoking for me, and I remember the day it happened, I was living on an island at the time, and my last child was about to be, was just a couple months away from being born. I went, I really don't want to introduce this energy into her life. And I thought, I was just about to light up a cigarette, and then something happened inside, and I don't know, I'm sure it was them guiding me at the time. I just don't remember that it was them then, but at the time it was like, I suddenly felt my urge for the cigarette. I felt my urge to have the cigarette. And I went, wait a minute, the cigarette and my urge are two different things. And I went, what is this urge? And I started asking, what is the urge for me? So that was the question for this today. What was the urge inside me that drove me to smoke? And then the minute I questioned the urge, the thought came to me, write something down. And your urge is something that is trying to emerge, but you have kept it trapped with your smoking. That is the way you learn to protect that part from emerging. Oh, yeah. And I went, yeah. And then I remembered at that moment that when I was a little child, if I tried to draw or scribble on things, my people would get really angry at me and really enraged at me, and I get severely punished. So I grew up, I found a mechanism called smoking to prevent myself from writing, from drawing. And that moment when I realized that, I picked up my pen, I became a prolific writer of poetry and short stories and political articles, and I got a huge body of work that's been written over the years. And my smoking basically just stopped. By the end of 8 weeks, I had no desire. The more I wrote, the less my desire for smoking was there, and literally it just dissipated. So once you understand the urge you have, what is that trying to emerge, and you engage that and find, what is that? What is that urge for alcohol, that urge for drugs? What is that aspect of my being that wants to express that I'm suppressing, because that's the way I was trained to suppress. That's how my mother, my father, everybody suppressed their natural way of being through alcohol, through drugs, through anger, through fear. They found mechanisms for repressing who they really were. And most addictions are like that. They're repressive elements for restricting us from expressing who we really are, because the environment when we were children didn't allow that. And so for me, that's what I did. That's the process I went through. That's what I was guided through, to find out when I have an urge for something, what is trying to emerge. And that's very powerful. Very, very powerful. Thank you for that question. I'm not sure, Drusilla. I think you can highlight questions. There is a way that we can do that. We'll have to figure that out together. Again, bringing a moderator in is a brand new process. So somebody's saying, hi, William. I had a friend. Who is this? Hi, Catherine. I had a friend for over 55 years. She decided to leave the friendship, but I'm confused as we never had an argument or anything. Just doesn't talk to me. Can Jesus tell me what happened? He's simply saying that you are opening up to a younger way. I don't know why he's saying this, but he's saying you are opening up to a younger way. You must realize the door that you have opened invites in something new. Do not be attached to that which is older, but be attached to what you are bringing in. Again, many of you make the error of thinking you have lost things rather than recognizing that you are in a process of creation. You must understand that you are directly responsible for the changes unfolding in your experience. And if you are delighted in your thoughts, if you are delighted in your feelings, then you will be delighted to know that your creation will be delightful. Have you thought of creating something bad in your life? We do not think so. I do not think so. So allow what you have called forth to come in. He's saying, I'm excited because you will embrace and receive that which you have called for. You will embrace and receive that which you have called for. Wow. So really get into what it is have you called forth into your life. What have you called forth into your life, Catherine? See, when changes happen around us, it's because changes have been made within us, in our minds and our bodies. When you make a change in your mind, when you make a change in your body, the world around you starts to change. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, I know. He's saying, as we thinketh and as we feel, so shall it be. When we come back to that thinking and feeling and emotion being that from the past, and thinking and feeling that we can be in the present. Okay, but he says that both the past, so our past emotions can drive present thinking. So he says, be at home in this moment. Be at home in this moment. And if you are pleased in your home, you will be pleased in your world. Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid at all. Like you've called for something in your life, start looking for it. Have you called for more love, more exciting friendships, more dynamic opportunities? Embrace it. But okay. He's saying that one. He's saying that one, referring to. I guess he's referring to a friend. He's saying that one. Her heart has been hurt, not by you, but by others in here. So she's got something in her heart that she has to deal with. Right. I don't know what that means. Fascinating. Thank you so much. Question from Deanna. Embarrassing, but I have to ask, since I have been working on awakening, I have such little desire for physical sex. Is this normal? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you're no longer being identified as just body self. You're elevating your awareness. You're becoming the orchestrator of matter, not subjective to it. Sex, the energy of sex is different than the creative process of sex. People get them confused. The creative process of sex is simply the manufacturing of a physical container for a new soul to come into time-space. The process of physical sex is for that. But the energy of sex is the sex of creation of itself, the very ability that you have as an awareness, as a being able to construct and define and redefine creation energy as joy, as love, as excitement, as playfulness, as possibility, to manifest conditions of matter, not simply to create another physical container, but to become the master manifesting the conditions of physical matter. I like that. That's pretty cool, eh? That there's a difference between sex and the energy of sex. One is used for creating physical bodies, whereas the other is used for creating changes in matter, time and space. I really like that. Thank you for asking that question, Deanna. It's a brilliant, brilliant question. Well, question from Tanya. Is there a special guide or angel that I can call in for this process of letting go of this breakup, grief, and bringing back the hope into my awareness? Yeah, please call in I get strong if you calling in Archangel Michael and Master Saint Germain. Like, call them in. They're really great for helping to transform, transmute, and release old, dense energies. Remember too, though, in the process of working with these ascended masters, you get to learn to become as they are. If you go back earlier into this video, you'll see very clearly the process for releasing those old energies out of the system. It's elegantly simple. We don't need 10 years in a psychologist's chair to learn how to let go of our pain and suffering. The old model of going back and remembering your suffering simply keeps that pain alive, when simply you need to become aware of that pain and learn how to release it from your biology. Do not let your past become your present. Do not let your past become your future. Most people are living in their past present, and many more are living in a future past before they even get to it. They create their past in the future. Oh, I knew that would happen. That's creating your past future, right? Don't do it. Live in the present moment. Get into a place of joy, deliciousness, enlightenment, playfulness, excitement, and learn to stay there. And watch that energy start to create your experiences for you, because it will. It certainly will. You know, I get the joy of experiencing that. Wonderful. Question from Anthony. Do any angels or guides have any guidance for what is going on in my relationship? And Anthony, okay. Wow. Okay. There is, it is something that you want to consider. We know that you're feeling it. We know that you're aware of something's going on. But what would you like to go on in the relationship? The type of communication you have in your relationship needs to change. The mechanisms of communication in your relationship need to change. How you hear each other, how you view each other in both of your own hearts must change. And you must agree to those changes. You must become conscious that you are creating a relationship of being together. Being together with another is a creation. It's not going to haphazardly happen, as does the process of procreation happens automatically because of the nature of the body. But in terms of the relationship that you're seeking to be fulfilled in, this must be consciously created with the two of you. You must become conscious of how you hear each other, conscious of how you see each other, and to be willing to hear the other, and then to see the other in the highest light possible. To hear each other in the highest light possible. We find that many of the relationships on this planet do not suffer because of who you are essentially. They suffer because of who you think you are, who you think you're supposed to be, who you define you should be as a person in a relationship. Most of you have models for a relationship that you gain from your TV sets. Many of you have models for relationships that you've read in books. Very few of you have created an idea of what relationship ought to be for you, really, and how it should be for the other. Look at how you create your relationship. What are the ingredients, and where do you get those ingredients from? Are they good ingredients? They're showing me an example of, you're making a soup and you put too much cayenne pepper in it, and you find the soup is now burning you. Now you gotta put the right ingredients in the relationship. What are right ingredients? Right thought, right emotion, right action. Being in integrity with who you are. There are certain ingredients that go into our relationships with other people, and those ingredients are within you. And hopefully nobody's put ingredients in your mind. What do you believe about relationship? What have you been taught to believe about relationship? What have you been taught to believe about the world? Because if you don't question what you've been taught, you'll be replaying the same stuff on different days. I know that from personal experience many times. Well, thank you for that question, Anthony. Wow. Okay, I got time for one more question. From Emma. Hello, Emma. And yes, I also have a question about friendships. There are many friends I don't feel drawn to see anymore, but I feel bad about just not calling them anymore. Any guidance? Get excited, Emma. As they said earlier, get excited. I don't know who I'm going to meet every day, but when I do, I'm excited, because when someone crosses my path, they're going to be a very interesting being. And when you're elevating your consciousness up, when you're raising your consciousness, when you're deliberately altering and changing your mind and your body to reflect who you are as a sentient, limitless creative potential, functioning from a platform of love, joy, excitement, curiosity, playfulness. When you're functioning from that, and you train your mind and body to function that way also, then the things that are going to show up in your life are going to match that. And you're going to be naturally moving away from things that don't. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen around me anymore, because it's going to happen organically. Right? As long as I'm mindful, I know if I'm living in a state of fear or guilt or shame or anger, I know something's going to show up in my life to represent that. I've learned not to do that. And I'm still learning, because sometimes things will still trigger me. Yes. But they say it's very important. Once you understand your creating process, when you're moving to a higher state of being, and you can feel more love in your heart, more joy in your body, more vitality. You're rebuilding your body with the right foods, the right water, the right activity, the right exercise, and you're rebuilding your mind and your emotions with thoughts and emotional energies that lift you up. Then your world is going to change around you, and the old will pass away and the new will be made. Master Jesus talks about this all the time. It's about turning the water into wine, taking the old, letting it go, and creating the new. Literally, when you start to become a different being deliberately and consciously, your world, your relationships will change spontaneously. And you shouldn't feel an obligation to call somebody unless they're part of that transformation. People I used to hang around with 20 years ago, I've only got a few people that I still know from 20, 30 years ago, just a handful, and it's pretty remarkable. But the vast majority of people I don't relate to. In reality, most of them are either dead or in jail or not in a very good position in life. And it's not because there's something wrong with who they are as a being. It's just that they never got around to that place of reorganizing mind and matter. And that's it. And many of the people that are here today are people that are literally, deliberately, and consciously reorganizing their thoughts, transforming their emotions, generating a new feeling energy into their world. We are in the ascension process consciously and deliberately, all of us that are gathered here and on other groups like Soulology or Laura Eisenhower's group or any of these different groups that are out there. We are in an ascension process, and it must be consciously engaged. You must consciously make the decision that you are going to improve your body, improve your consciousness, improve your awareness, improve your energy. And again, we teach courses and classes to help you do that, which won't be beginning again until next February, but you can go to my website and check all that out. This has been a really amazing day. I'm going to look forward to watching the replay of this because there's information that I want to tap into again. I want to thank all of you guys for showing up today. Thank you for your questions, your concerns. And I want to thank Drusilla. Thank you, Drusilla, so much for taking on the position of being a moderator. As we go through this together, we'll learn how this actually works, and I really appreciate you stepping into this new process with me as well. And all of you guys, don't hesitate. We're going to be bringing some. I've received a list of beings that are going to be coming through in the coming weeks, so I'm really excited about those of you that have left comments about who you'd like to have come through to communicate with us. I mean, we've had beings like Alan Watts and Stephen Hawkins and Dr. David Hawkins, and we've had many wonderful beings, Joan of Arc and Master Jesus and Buddha Lao Tzu. So many beings that can come through and offer us insights and information at this point in consciousness. And then there's also the living avatars that are on this planet today that you can access as well. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody. You will not see my usual outro. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate the questions. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. It gets easier as we go through. And so I will see, again, when I edit this video afterwards, I'll leave any comments or information that you put there. I'll try and get them over there. But please leave your comments in the comment section. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others. Again, once I figure out how to use this new software, the video quality will go up. So I want to thank you all for being so patient in this learning curve with me. Thank you so much for your time, for your love, your patience, your perseverance, your energy, and your joy. And I will see you on Friday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. And looking forward to Saturday's meditation on Supernatural Saturday. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.